Hi everybody, how you doing? This is just a random thought video today, really. You'll have seen me jamming a wee bit at the beginning, and I'll pop a wee bit more in at the end as well. And I just got to thinking about rabbit holes and how it relates to gear and all the rest of it, and especially guitar gear, and what us guitarists are like, and creative people in general, I think. And by creative, I also include not just arty people or musicians, but also I would also include in what I'm talking about today, people who are really into cars or motorbikes or speedboats or collecting watches or anything remotely technical at all that you can tweak, that you can mess about with, all that kind of stuff. People who like to take things apart and put them together again, and who like to collect certain parts for certain things from certain eras and all that, and you know what I'm talking about. Well, it'll become clear as I go on. So there's my Alexa kicking in, so hopefully that won't disturb you too much. So anyway, so the story of today is it's quite noisy around here at the minute, so I just recorded. So I just felt like playing. I was going to record a video and then a kind of teaching video, which I'll do another day. But I thought I'm just gonna fire up my computer and I'll just play and record some playing. As I was playing this morning, this thought popped into my head that I don't play enough. And that's an issue. So I only ever really play if I've got a gig, or I've got a rehearsal, or if I'm recording, that kind of thing, or maybe just doing a video, maybe get some new bit of gear and I want to show it off, that kind of thing. And but I spend an inordinate amount of time, I probably couldn't add it up, tweaking my guitars, so changing the action, changing bridges, messing about with switches and pickups, and getting my soldering iron out, or soldering iron, as people over the pond call it. Although that sounds a bit rude, soldering iron. It doesn't quite translate very well. But you know what I mean, that hot thing that you melt the solder, and get all over the place. But, so I mess about with that, and I kind of look at specs, and I watch YouTube videos, countless YouTube videos on gear and about pickup height, and, the amount of times the pickups have been up and down in my G&L, and in I've got a Pacifica just behind me as well, which has got like kind of cheap Amazon Alnico pickups in it, which actually sound really good. The amount of times they've been kind of up and down, or I've changed something or other, I've changed brands of strings, and it occurred to me that sometimes we just need to stop and just play. I do get a bit down a rabbit hole with guitars. If something's not quite right, it niggles me, and I have to kind of tweak it and adjust it. So, sometimes you'll get the things that you have to fix, like you get fret sprout and that kind of stuff, or you get a high fret, or something's not right, you have to do the intonation or whatever. But this is just like if there's a slight buzz or noise, and that can change from day to day, especially with a guitar like this, which is semi-hollow, and you can hear just there, it's very noisy. As you're playing it, see if you can, you can hear the Bigsby being noisy. Sometimes stuff like that niggles me, and I'll spend days trying to sort things out and all the rest of it. But what I've noticed is when I've been gigging guitars like this, which I've done lots of adjusting and fine-tuning on, once I'm gigging them, I don't really do that, because I'm playing them in a loud environment and they're staying in tune and they're sounding good, so it turns into a different beast. So all those little niggles and things that bother me in here, or if I'm sitting in my living room or my kitchen playing, don't amount to a hill of beans out there. Nobody hears them. You don't hear them. When you're firing through an amp, or with my acoustics through a PA, whatever, it just doesn't matter. If you're mid-song, kind of mid-flow and mid-song, nobody cares about these little things, and least of all you. And that's also the mark of a good guitar, that you'll forget you're playing it when you're playing it. It won't get in the way. Excuse the drill sounds behind me. You'll hear a little bit of machinery going off as they do DIY next door. But yeah, so that got me thinking, and what do you think? It's more of I want to hear from you, is do we spend too much time worrying about stupid stuff? I mean, in life in general, we probably do. But with guitars and gear, if there's a slight ding or a dent or a just something that niggles us about a guitar. Oh, we'll just get rid of it. Whereas we just need to play them more, because we'll never get them perfect. They're not perfect instruments. We won't get them how we want them in our heads all the time. There'll always be a slight niggle. But let's start looking at that as character. We'll start looking at that as a little quirk, a little foible, which kind of like we've all got, as people. And that's kind of how I want to approach it now, because I don't want to waste loads of time. I love gear, and I love I watch the Week in Gear and stuff, and videos like that, and I watch obviously Film McKnight's channel and stuff like that. I love all that stuff, but also I think we need to just play. We need to just play more, and we'll probably argue less on the internet as well if we play more. I found that's obviously the case. I'm off social media a lot more when I'm playing, and and even amongst the guitar space, if we're just enjoying our instruments and then learning off each other rather than challenging each other about what's best and what's not, and how that guitar should have this thing and all the rest of it. And I think it would open the door as well for a lot of younger players just to come in. So let me show you this guitar. This, which is the same colour scheme as my, apart from the neck being rosewood, is the same colour scheme as my G&L, just back there, that you've seen on other videos. This was a Yamaha Pacifica 012. I got it for £30 a few years ago in a charity shop, and it's really beaten up. So what I did was I fixed it. The bridge was all hanging off, and it had come loads of dents in it. So what I did, I kind of did a semi-relic job on it, and just made the scratches and the dents a wee bit bigger, and then just rubbed dirt into them, basically, and coffee and all kinds of stuff, just to give it a bit more of a rustic look. It's not. I won't get a job in the custom shop, but I like it, and I had fun. I blocked the bridge off in a very kind of lo-fi C6 Steve kind of way, just with a block of wood. I've got mismatched screws, all kinds of stuff. The tuners are actually from a Jet guitar that I had. I changed the tuners in the Jet to locking tuners, and then eventually sold the Jet for some stupid reason. I don't know why. I do miss that guitar. But I had the tuners still, so the tuners that came with this were rubbish, so I changed them for these Jet ones, and that's kind of worked as well. And then the electronics, I've put a proper switch in, so a proper 5-way mechanical switch, CTS pots. Now I'll do a video on this guitar at some point as well. I need to fix the output jack. So once I've done that, I'll let you hear it. But these are the kind of Music Lily pickups off the Alnico 5 pickups off Amazon. And they're really good. And I think it's what the saddles as well. Got slightly better saddles, because the other ones were all rusted and full of finger cheese or whatever it was, some kind of gunk. I dread to think. So, I've put, probably about another total 80 quid back into this one with the extra bits, maybe a little bit more. But it only cost me 30 quid to start with. And it's not a perfect guitar at all. Interestingly, the fretwork's really, really good. It's better than a lot of more expensive guitars I've had. But the truss rod's a little bit sticky, and it's got its foibles. And I say the output jack needs fixing. But it's a great guitar to play, so I just play it. So if we get less obsessed about all the perfections and all the being authentic and all the rest of it, and just play more, then I think that'll open the door for a lot of younger players who might feel that their guitar isn't good enough. And they'll just play. They'll just go for it. In fact, if you've seen a young guitar player who gets like a starter pack guitar for Christmas, they will just play that thing to death. They don't care about what ratio tuners and if it's stainless steel frets or whatever. Now, all those things are valid as well. So hear me, don't go in the comments, and because somebody will not watch the video and go in the comments and go, "Oh, but this and that," and you said, you know how it goes. I love it's my hobby is messing about with guitars and tweaking them and improving them. That's a wonderful thing. But what I'm saying is, sometimes we just need to rebalance it a little bit. So we're playing more, maybe slightly more than we're tweaking, and we'll get to be better guitar players. And I think we'll actually, the inadvertent result is we'll enjoy our instruments more rather than kind of worrying about them. And because sometimes it can be a downer. You kind of buy a guitar and you're like, it's not quite right. But if we play them more, we'll find out all the good bits, and we'll fall in love with our guitars again and playing guitar as well. Anyway, so thanks for listening to my random thought of the day. Might make this a series, you never know. Just Graham talks absolute nonsense. What are your thoughts? Do you find yourself doing that? I mean, it's easier to watch YouTube videos than it is to practice, but or to buy more gear. But what do you think? Do you spend too long tweaking your guitars, or do you not give a monkeys? You just play whatever. You just pick up your Strat, plug it in, and away you go. You've not even adjusted the action. Apologies for my throat today. It's a little bit hoarse, such as being a singer and a very tired one. But there you go. So hope you enjoyed that, and get in the comments and make this is a discussion. Be nice to each other, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, bye.